Welcome, my dear viewer, to Dr. Paul Kibisho, PhD, QB, HSC official YouTube channel and TikTok page official YouTube channel. I once again come to you people to share a few things with you, because one of the key things that the Lord has done is to give us different talents and seasons. The moment God endows you with information that you don't like sharing with other people, you are not of any help. In fact, if you don't share information or what you know with others, you become just a normal human being who ought not to have been endowed with that particular knowledge. Allow me, first of all, to give a warning to those people who have nothing to do in this particular platform. If you have nothing to share, if you have nothing to tell us apart from using what we call unprintable epithets, what we refer to as obnoxious and obscene language, you are not welcome to this particular forum. I warn you in advance that if you are the kind of people who just talk for the sake of talking, this is not your platform. Kindly do what is necessary. Get out of this forum and go to where you belong. We have people who do not merit to be in some people's meetings by virtue of their scarcity of information, and these are the people who normally talk trash. And I have said it in the past that I've got acute allergy for mediocrity. So I'm here to share information with you. If you are interested, stay tuned. If you have no interest in listening to me, I have not invited you at all. Let me talk to the people who matter most, people of value but not volume. Now, as you have seen in my heading of discussion today, the question is, do you have a life plan? There are some people who just exist in the universe by virtue of having found themselves as part of the universe. Not because they're adding any value, but because they found themselves in this universe, which is called Earth. It is important at all times to ask yourself, why did God create you in the first place? If you ask yourself that question, it becomes very easy for you to answer this question that I have already raised. Do you have a life plan? If somebody intends to build a house, the first thing that this person will do himself or herself, yes, then I have land. Yes, I have land that has been verified and over and above all has been cleared from any incubalences, because the moment you go putting your money into that particular land, you must have left no stone unturned or no information or no detail ignored, because there is no point of putting 10 million, 15 million shillings, then after 1 week, the building is brought down. So my question is, and I'm telling you this, and I'll never stop saying it, and I'll continually say it, that majority of us people, we do not have a life plan. And the moment you lose a life plan in life, it becomes pathetic, and you're the kind of individuals who go complaining at all times how the economy is bad. We all know the economy is bad. Before I go to that illustration of building a house, the question is, what did you do when the economy was good? We like complaining at all times. If you become a perennial complainer, you'll be losing opportunities as you plunge yourself into that swimming pool of failures and people who like giving excuses all the times. And I have said it in the past, and I will not tire. Excuses are the tools of the incompetent that build bridges that take you nowhere. It does not matter how good the excuse is. It does not matter how many people buy into your excuse. The basic fact of the matter is you are still where you were before you started giving those excuses. And the easiest thing in the world is to give an excuse. Why haven't you saved money? Because I'm not paid enough. Why haven't you taken your children to school? Because I don't have school fees. Due to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those excuses will not change the basic fact that your children are not in school. So you require a life plan, because a life plan is an objective that helps you prioritize what is important to you. We have got so many things that can confuse us. We have got so many sources of information, but we need, first of all, to authenticate the information that may add value to us. So I'm just going to give you what we call 6 steps in life that ought to make and shape your life plan, so that tomorrow when we meet, and thank you very much for those giving me likes on my TikTok page, I really appreciate. Continue tapping, continue listening, and thank you so much for the likes. And Jenga, thank you. Grace Getao, thank you. Dr. Joe, thank you. Grace Getao, thank you very much. Hannah Wanjiro, thank you very much for the likes. Now, let us go on. I have been telling people for the last 31 years the need to plan for their lives. So I said, before I forget, that if you are building a house, once you have been able to authenticate that the piece of land that you have is legit, meaning it has met all the legal threshold, Then the next thing that comes into your mind, what kind of a building do I require to put up? Because when you ask, the first person who has that impression of the building that you want to build is you. After you have already been able to conceptualize the kind of a house that you require, you synchronize that with your mind. You now go to somebody called an architect. An architect is that person who will be able now to understand and draw for you, now to remove the image from your head, to transfer, to take what we call a transference of that image from your head to him now. Once you tell him how many building, how many rooms you require, is it a mansionette? Is it a bagaro? What the architect will do basically is now to prepare what we call an artistic impression. Nowadays, even our architects, they have been helped by what we call digitalization. We have what we call an app called CAD, computer aided designs. The computer aided designs normally helps our architects to come up with much easier or with much ease to come up with that building that you want to be built for you. So they'll be able to tell you where the dining room will be, how many bedrooms you'll be having, how many washrooms, wash hard basins, where they'll be put, among other facilities that you require in that particular building that you have. Then after that, it is not the work of the architect to give you what we call the costings of the building. What the architect will do basically is to ensure that he now tells you, let us look for a quantity surveyor. A quantity surveyor will prepare for you what we call a BQ. A BQ stands for Bill of Quantities. Now, that Bill of Quantity gives you what we call the approximate cost. We call it the approximate cost because of there will be variations in prices because of what we call the law of demand and supply. So if that building is going to cost you 10 million shillings, they say up to 10 million, plus they normally give you a deviation. There's a standard deviation that either the price may go this far or the price may be at this point. Then from there, after you have done that, it is now again incumbent upon you to identify the person who is going to build for you the house. So you see, it's a process. What do I want to mean here? That life is a process. And in this particular process, what you require to do and to ensure is that you need to ask yourself a few questions that will be able to guide you in the direction that you want to take. Unfortunately, once again, and I have said this, majority of Kenyans, even when they have been furnished with this kind of information, their business has always been to criticize and to say that some individuals are so proud, they think that they know. And the question begs, who has stopped you from sharing information with the masses? Nobody has stopped you sharing this information with the masses. So you do not require anybody's approval to share this particular information. You do not seek for any permission from any individual or from any quarters. If you think that you have that information that may help masses, then you have the platform to do that. So let me go to point number one. Having given you that particular illustration on how you can be able to build a house of your choice, allow me now to give you the steps that make a life plan. If you think I'll have helped you, then you have a duty either to contact me privately or to remain the same status that you were in before I gave you this information, because by the end of the day, the decision is yours. And we are a product of our own decisions. I've been telling people about Olinsako for 1.5 years now. I want to salute all those that have been able to take what we call positive steps and they have joined Olinsako. Next year in the month of January, you'll be enjoying your dividends from share capital and non-withdrawable deposits because you took a positive step. Those who listened and they kept quiet, they will still reap their silence. I talked about Britam, having an education policy for your child, having a retirement plan for yourself, having what we call a personal accident plan, having a domestic insurance package for your house, having a goods in transit policy, having what we refer to as, I talked about it, a medical scheme. Those who got interested and they are conscious of their lives, they have consulted me. They have contacted me. The choice by the end of the day is yours, Madam Beth, Mr. Kasoro Rose, Mr. James Munywa, our member at Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited. So what will happen is this. Step number one, in order for you to succeed, you must create a vision. How many people have got a vision for their lives? The Bible says in the book of Proverbs 29:18, a nation without a dream is perishing. The moment you find yourself behaving like the children of the Israelites, who were at a place called Kadesh, and Kadesh Barnea was only 11 kilometers from the promised land. But because they had no compass to where they wanted to go, because they were rudderless, it took them 40 years to go to the promised land. You've been there. You've been earning a salary, and what occupies your mind is that the salary that you earn is not enough. There is no single time in this world of God when the salaries that your employer pays you will be enough. Our members of parliament the other day, they said they get paid 1.2 million shillings, and that 1.2 million shillings is what we call peanuts.
then what other people get paid in this republic is sim. So, but you have to use your sim, because even Moses, when he was confronted by the children of the Israelites, he was asked by God one question: Moses, what are you holding on your hands? Begin where you are with what you have. David fought Goliath not with an AK-47 rifle, not with a G3, not with a Kalanchava or whichever name it is given, but he was able to use whatever he had in his hands, and he defeated this humongous, gigantic individual by the name Goliath. So it's not about how much money that you are earning that's gonna set the pace for you to becoming independent, financially independent. Create a vision. In that particular vision, it will enable you now to create an infrastructure that will be well orchestrated, or it will be well organized, it will be well choreographed, that will give you the reason of survival, the reason as to why God made you the person you are today. So create a vision. Now, number two, perform a self-assessment. One thing that makes people to become conscious of themselves is by performing a self-assessment test. There is nobody in this universe who can tell you how good you can be. The only person who knows the potential that has been withheld is you. The only person who knows how you manage your time is you. The only person who knows what capacity you have is you. So it is not ask people to come and gauge you what you can do. You only require to prove yourself by doing what you're supposed to do and unleashing your full potential so that you can be known to be the person that God created to be. So perform a self-assessment test. The other thing, prioritize your life. Prioritize your life. There are so many things that can bring confusion in your life. There are so many things. Human wants are address. You buy a Mercedes-Benz AMG this time loud. After only 2 hours drive, you find what we call a Bentley. After 2 hours, you find a Ferrari. After 3 hours, you find a Cadillac. After 5 hours, you find what we call a BMW X8. Just like the phones. Just the other day, we had the iPhone 5. Now we have iPhone 14. So you see, you may compete with what we call fashion. The moment you start following fashion and competing with it, you'll lose it by the end of the day because you do not have the potential, the capacity to do that. So the best thing to do is to ask yourself, what do I require to do now? What do I require to do for my family, for myself, so that my tomorrow can be good? Prioritize your life. Number four, identify your values. What are your values? Do you have values that can withstand the test of time? What do people know you for? And I've been talking about MDP, major definite purpose in life. Why did God create you in the first place? Why are you consuming the resources from God, yet you have not been able to establish your values? What are your moral values? What are your ethical values? What do you stand for? What is your philosophy? Once you understand your values, you'll be able now to use the time, the resources that God has given unto you to be able to meet that particular vision that you have set for yourself. So point number four is that you need to identify your values in life. The other thing, establish your goals. You must have a goal. If you do not have a goal, one great philosopher said, if you do not know where you are going, any road will take you there. So it is incumbent upon you once again to know, where do I want to be in the next 5 years? All serious organizations, including Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited, including Panorama Consulting Company Limited, we have what we call a strategic plan. We have a strategic plan. We know where we want to be and after when. So it's good way to create and you establish your goals, because goals make you to be more focused. Goals makes you to be motivated. Goals now makes you realize there is no point of wasting time with people who don't matter. So every resource that God has given unto you must be used in the right way. Whether it is money, whether it is time, whether it is space, the space that God has given unto you must always be used towards the achievement of your goal. Finally, honorable members, outline an action plan. When you talk about outlining an action plan, let me tell you what makes people to succeed in life and others to feel miserable. We normally talk of 6 P's. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. So if you find somebody who is not performing optimally, it is because there was no preparation. The word preparation, preparation for that matter. So it's up to you now to ask yourself, what is your action plan? When do you want to start this particular project? Like now you have gotten a young child who is under 1 year old. You already know at the bottom of your heart that it is in your interest to start planning for that child's education. Don't come pretending as if you never knew that this child was going to go to school at a given stage in life. So why do you go looking for an emergency loan? Why do you go looking for a normal loan to educate your child? You need to start saving right now so that your child's education can be taken care of. It's not about saving money in the bank. It's about having an insurance contract with you so that in case even God invites you home earlier than expected, the education of the child is taken care of. But many Kenyans are so ignorant, and I appreciate that because I've done a research. That is the research I did for my doctorate also. Kenyans have this attitude of thinking that when they give money out there, it's going to be eaten or to be stolen. That is total rubbish. That is why insurance companies have been there since the year 1647. And the first 1497. And the first person to insure was called Mr. William Gibbons from England, who took a policy of £2. He died the same year, and the family members were paid £4. Insurance is only new to you. Number one, because you don't, the Bible says, my people perish for lack of information, because they have refused to seek it. Insurance is so important. All these big buildings that you see in Nairobi, the Britam Towers, the Liberty Plaza, the Sanlam Plaza in Westlands, they have been built because we have people who have confidence and trust in insurance. They have not gotten that money from elsewhere. So take an insurance policy for your child if you want. If you don't want, it is the choices have consequences. What about taking a pension plan? One day you'll retire. We are talking about proper planning prevents poor performance. Because you retire, your energy levels goes down, your consumption in terms of money goes up, because you require to be eating a special diet, dressing in a special way, and visiting the doctor quite often than it was before, when you used to be robust of energy. So you need to plan for your life. Even having a circle where you can be able to access loans. You don't just join a circle because you want to get loans. You can even join a circle so that you can be enjoying what we call the dividends from what we call share capital and withdrawable deposits. For more information, those interested can talk to me. The choice is yours. So allow me to say this. You must discover your true north. As I conclude my talk today, you must discover your true north. When you talk about discovering your true north, this is where you become a critical thinker and you take a critical path by asking yourself very pertinent questions. You have been living in this universe for the last 35 years. What do you have to show? You have never been put behind the bars. You have never been a state guest at Kamete Maximum Prison. You have never been to Kingongo Security Maximum Prison. You have never been to Gadigiri Maximum Prison. You have never been to Naivasha Maximum Prison. How come that for the last 35 years of your existence, you have nothing apart from you depleting the resources that God has given you in terms of water, air, among others? So discover your true north. And discovering your true north, you require a mentor. Mentors are very, very important people because they guide you. They tell you what you need to do. But because Kenyans, they worry. They suffer from miasma of pride. Many Kenyans are so proud. What can Kebisho tell me today? And the moment you start hearing somebody asking, what can Kebisho do for me today? That's a total. In fact, the only thing that you can do as a bright person, get out of that zone. Get out of that epicenter of that individual and go to the periphery where thinking takes a center stage. Because the moment you need to be very, very careful with the people who are expired. We have people who are living in this universe, but they are expired. They are as dangerous as drugs that has actually now outlived their sell-by date. Somebody who has got no hope in life can only act as an expired drug. Kindly identify who are your friends, because the moment you associate yourself with friends who have got no future, who have got no plans, who have got no compass of their lives, they will never help you in identifying and establishing what we call the true north. Never. The other thing I want to remind you as I bring this show to a close is that never mind what people say about you. I'm one person. Kebisho is one person who doesn't care what you say about him. It doesn't matter how you go talking bad things about Kebisho. By the end of the day, my DNA remains the same. I'll remain the professor I am. I'll remain the lawyer I am. I'll remain the author I am. I'll remain the gospel artist I am. What do you remain to be? So it's up to you. If you spend so much time talking about you, you lose. If you don't risk in life, you lose a chance. You do not have to come telling me A, B, C, D here. Don't mind about what people say about you, because a tongue, if somebody has a tongue and breath and has the energy, they can say anything. But the beauty is, do not listen to those voices of various. The best thing that you can do is to chart the way forward. May God bless you. Always a pleasure talking to you. And I'm advising all of you, if you are there and you want to know more about the secrets of life, kindly call me on 0722 633 021. Sorry for that noise. Somebody is working on his office. You can call me on 0722 633 021. May God bless you. Sorry for that interruption, but I hope I had already delivered my message.
Thank you so much, Bishop. Dr. Kibisho, my mentor. Say hi to Elder Beatrice, Elder Morioki, Elder Mushemi, and the rest. Good day. I'll do that. Thank you so much. And I thank God for all of you who listened to me. It's the choice of us. Please make up your mind. Time is coming. Let me tell you, it's only now that we are telling you this information. Please do what you can so that you can be able to shape here tomorrow. We say, organize now or agonize later. Organize now. Call me. I'm available for you. Maybe at a very subsidized consultancy fee, 0722 633 021. We share more information. I have helped more than 5 million Kenyans to be somewhere today. If you want to become part of the statistics, you have my number. Call me on 0722 633 021. Are you there and you're interested in joining Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited, where we say our slogan is home of investors? Don't hesitate. Talk to me. This money belongs to you. And I have told you on many occasions, the money that you have in Equity Bank is not your father's bank, but you have trusted them. It is not being run by robots. It is being run by human beings with blood and flesh like me. If you have put money in Core Bank, whichever bank, Absa Bank, it is not that those banks belongs to your fathers or what have you. It is because you think by virtue of them having been there for that long that they are better off. No, here we are. We can be able to assist you and help you become better people. Please don't hesitate. If you're interested in joining Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited, call me on that number, 0722 633 021. If you don't get me, you can call my executive PA, Mrs. Mary Jogu, on 0713 534 65. 0713 534 65. But I advise people not to call somebody's wife past 7. You call Mary Jogu from 6 a.m. to 7 in the evening. The rest of the time, let her live with her family happily. So you can call me on 0722 to join Quest Pinnacle. I'm telling you, have no idea. We are currently giving our members, despite the economic crunch, we are giving a return of 14% net to our members of Quest. Where are you? Where have you been left behind? Call me for more information. If you want to have your company trained on business consultancy, winning workplace habits, efficiency and effectiveness at workplace, personal financial wellness and wealth creation, in what we call Kaizen philosophy, total quality management, kindly don't hesitate. Call me on 0722 633 021. For more information, you have my number. May God bless you. Always a pleasure talking to you. Shalom, shalom, shalom. God bless you all.